So Sam, I want to welcome you to Mental, and wanted to have you here today to kind of learn about your story. And the reason that I invited you is because I first met you through contrast therapy,
Yes.
which I couldn't remember the name of. I kept calling it everything else, like hot and cold therapy, all the things. And I know that I believe you explained it in the sense that it almost frustrates you when people can't remember that that's what it's called.
Well, everybody is calling it cold plunge. Oh, we're going to go do the cold
cold
plunging.
plunge.
I want to do it. I'm like, that's
They
not
forget the
what we
sauna part.
do. Well, there's the sauna and the breath work.
The breath work was my favorite part of the
Yeah,
experience.
that's what I'm
Actually,
saying. It's pretty-
conquering the tub was pretty a proud moment for me.
You did fine. You went underwater the first time.
I thought that's the only way you're supposed to do it.
Oh.
Because that's how I get used to pools. So I was like, I figured if I just get it
I don't know anyone who's ever had that. That's good. You're
Theory?
special. Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Makes you like a unicorn.
Yeah, a unicorn for ice plunges.
Yeah.
What was great about the breathing thing prior to that was that helped me the second time for sure.
Oh, yeah.
And the first time I had left this part of my body out, and so I was very shivery. Mm-hmm. The second time I kept under there because you and Aaron were both like telling me like stay this much under at least, and I was doing my breathing. But the one part that people have had taken issue with, and I don't know if I explained this to you guys in great detail, but I was pressing against the walls,
Yeah.
like with my feet and my arms, like as hard as I could.
Yeah.
And that's how I could concentrate on my breathing, is because I was like
Okay.
physically exerting myself. And I don't know if that's supposed to be part of the process. You're supposed to relax.
It
or
must
what?
be just like your form of like that's probably what you deal with when you're under stress or anxiety or some sort of like super
Fight
sympathetic
or flight.
state. That's
I'm a
probably
fighter.
how you do it. I bet you like clench your teeth and make fists and stuff and you don't even know.
I have.
Are you a grinder?
I've started. I used to be like in my sleep. I used to have to wear a mouthpiece as a small tot.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
not anymore though.
No, I don't.
I just spent like $600 of Botox in my jaw for that.
No, to not grind.
Yeah, it's not doing anything.
I haven't done it in years. I think that part of that, a very recent thing though, it's funny that you mentioned like the gritting and the gripping and the stuff because I just recently have started going to, I've been doing regular therapy for a while since my mom had passed this last summer and we had some unreconciled things. And then I've been doing regular therapy, but I recently started seeing someone who specializes in inner child work.
Oh yeah, that's just.
Talk about purging. Like it felt, I compared it to, on my TikTok journey thing, I compared it to like cleansing your body and when all this stuff just starts coming out and you just get acne everywhere because you're just like, everything's excreting.
Yeah.
And that's how it felt. Like I had some very manic moments, especially after the first 2 sessions.
Huh.
My emotions were all over the place because I've thought about things before, but I never really like, have you ever seen that Bruce Willis movie, The Kid?
Yeah.
Where that little kid comes into the future and it's him?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
they like work through things
Yeah.
together? It was like that experience. And it wasn't there was no,
It's like ayahuasca.
I was going to say, it was almost like a psychedelic thing, but there was no psychedelics involved. It was just me and the therapist. But he was like, when did these feelings start and stop? And how we started was, where do I have memory skips? First grade, kindergarten, I remember vividly. Kindergarten's like yesterday to me. And somebody asked me one time, like, and I want to follow this up with this question for you because it's actually pretty interesting because I don't know if anybody's ever asked you either. Somebody said, when was the time that you felt most comfortable in your life? And I instantaneously was like kindergarten because for me, from first grade on till high school, I moved almost every other year, back and forth to my grandmother and my mother. And so I had all this pent up abandonment stuff from the 2 people who unconditionally loved me.
Yeah.
And when I was really young, I excelled at things because I was trying to get attention. And I didn't even realize, I used to think, oh, I was a bright child. It was because I was so desperate
Yeah.
to be truly unconditionally loved, which find out later, my grandmother actually, not only did she unconditionally love me, but she was trying to do the right thing by
They
her
did the best
daughter
thing, yeah.
and her grandson,
Yeah.
right? And so that part of the child therapy, because I was like, I don't remember 2nd and 3rd grade, because I lived with my mom first
So
and 3rd
that's
grade.
interesting because like when I went to therapy, we were talking about that. I want to know the name of this person, but it was so we.
I'll tell you off camera in
Yeah.
case there's any.
I don't remember my childhood like at all.
Really?
like-
Like from when to when?
I can't even give you a date.
No?
I have like random memories, but a lot of them I think tie into like if I've seen a photo as an
Okay.
adult, or if I've seen like a home video, and that's where a lot of my memories.
Or
come
if someone's
from.
told you the story about something?
Yeah, I mean, I swear it's got to be at least 6 or above. Like, I don't remember a lot
Mm-hmm.
at all. And I don't know what that is. We've tried to piece it together of like why I blocked that out, like where that is. And like we've even gone to like the point where I remember there was a nanny that I used to go to. And then I remember like I was trying to think it back as far as I could. And I remember this nanny's house. And then I suddenly was like, oh my God, the husband of the nanny was like this really, really creepy guy.
Yeah.
And like, so we were like tying in there. I remember like the clunk of the heater in the house and like this little room upstairs. And I'm like, I wonder if something happened there. Because that's kind of like where my last memories were. At my
Or if maybe those were the things you were focusing on to take your mind away from what was happening at the time. Because if it was a noise repetition thing, like, you know, they say scent is like the best sense that's tied to memory. Mm-hmm. So there's like, there's a really specific memory that comes up often in my brain because there was a few scents tied to it. My grandmother always kept the house spotless. And so there was a certain kind of pledge that she used that had a lemon pledge, which I think was like the only one available at the time. There was no lavender or cotton breeze or whatever. But, and the other thing was eggnog. Okay. And so my middle uncle had come home from leave and brought a NES, Nintendo. So up until this point, my youngest uncle and I grew up like brothers. We're upstairs playing Atari on this little TV that's like sepia tone. It's not even really like color because it's so old and it's like fading. And then they brought the Nintendo home and we all sat around as like a family and played this Nintendo. And so during that time, I remember those smells and that feeling and that comfort and everything. And that was part of my kindergarten thing. But after kindergarten, I never knew where I was going to be. And so what I figured out with the inner child stuff is that the reason that I've sabotaged relationships, career relationships, friendships, and different things is when I start to feel love, I'm sure it's not going to last.
Because you've been ripped away from it.
Every time. Yeah. There was not one time that I wasn't. I mean, up to the point in high school, that's where I kind of gave up and shut it all down because then I moved in with my great aunt. And I was like, damn, I've been trying to get these two people to love me forever, and I'm such a failure that now I'm off to a third person.
Oh, yeah.
That was the perspective I had, right?
Yeah.
So I've just now started to walk that journey down where I'm like, and I go to sleep to self-affirmation meditation.
Oh, yeah.
And I repeat it in my head. So like, it's like, I am worthy, I am good, I have these things.
God, this is just like exactly what that whole that thing I was telling you about with the campfire fellow. Yeah. Like, that's what it was about last night.
Was it?
The whole thing, yeah.
What was that experience like? Like, what does that bring up for you? Because you told me you're excited about this.
I know. I just have a lot of fear about this whole thing. So I'm going to be telling my story, but I'm going to do it in a way that I think goes way deeper than I ever would imagine. So I just have a lot of, I'm not really afraid of things. Like I'm like terrified of that. I'm going to fail at this thing, but that's good.
It's all relative.
That means I should do it.
I was terrified of your, the ice part of contrast therapy.
That, though. Like not like this. This is like, but it's just, it's way out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
You know, I know what I'm good at. I don't stick to that lane, but like, I know where I can like succeed in, like in certain things. But I think it's more like the passion is
outweighing it.
Yeah. So it's just like, I know, like
you want to break through this wall more than you want to stay comfortable at this point.
Yeah. Oh yeah. This public speaking. Because I think I have a really good story to share and it'll save lives. So for me, it's like, why would I sit back on this? It's like I'm sitting on a gold mine of not money, but of an opportunity to like really, really help people. And the more that I share my story, the more that I realize like I get people like left and right every time I share it that are just like, holy shit.
Thank you.
That's
one of the things I found as I've gotten older is that my uniqueness isn't all that unique.
No.
Right? Like all these things, and as you start letting that out, that's where I've gotten to really quickly. It's almost like unrealistic, and I don't mean to say that in some sort of way that it's like extremely profound and it's unique to my experience or anything like that. It's just that when you do start on that journey, when you do give up the true humility and you really start shedding the ego that you didn't even know you had.
I was just to say, it's all ego.
It's all ego.
I was to say, your ego was overriding everything because you're so insecure and so scared.
No one would have made fun of me if I got out after 30 seconds.
Yeah.
But in my head, everybody was, the Adam Sandler thing, right? Like, no, they're all going to laugh at you. Like, that was what I was picturing. And this big group of people were doing this breathing therapy. Corey jumps in the tub, gets out after 30 seconds, and everybody's like, what a jerk. And I was like, that's not who this environment is.
Yeah.
And the more I feared it, the best analogy
your ego gets bigger the more fear you have, and the more that your fear runs the show, the bigger your ego is going to get.
I had a thick-ass shell of ego.
Oh, yeah.
But you were probably the most
insecure human ever. It's like usually that's the ones. Like,
it is.
And
it's a projection. Just like guys that aren't tough are always telling people how tough they are.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Oh, I could go on that.
Yeah. Or your sexual prowess or your the way you're dressing to show people that you have money or whatever that case is. typically our weaknesses are what we're projecting the most because that's where we need 100%. The defense.
It's like you can just read someone by listening to what they're telling you about me.
Yeah.
You know, what you, this is you. And then you're like, okay, well, just turn the mirror around, right?
Or the 3 fingers thing. Have you ever heard that? Yeah. Like when you're pointing a finger. I don't know why I made mine a gun, but. So the comfort thing, for me, that explanation was, because I want to hear your answer to this. Like just raw and like just here's a question. So the comfort thing for me was I figured out, I started having those time jumps in memory around 2nd grade. In kindergarten, there was never any inkling in my brain that I would ever have to move. So I didn't have a parasympathetic system that was in fight or flight mode because I didn't ever have to yet. I was comfortable and I was happy. After that, what that has caused and how it was reciprocated through my other relationships is as soon as I feel love or connection with somebody, I'm like, what's all the worst case scenarios? When is this going to end? How is this? And then I'm projecting, but I've been too nice to be like directly mean to people. So I just self-destruct in all kinds of ways.
Yeah.
Subtle ways, big ways, stay stagnant. Yeah.
And being afraid of conflict and being afraid of setting boundaries and then them not liking you.
Boundaries.
And then if they don't like you, then that shatters your ego.
Right.
And so you
become a shell of yourself and a yes man, and that's so unattractive. In every relationship.
An angry, resentful yes man.
Yeah.
Because you're not really that nice because you're so angry.
It's nuts.
And it comes out and manifests in all sorts of ways. And then you start to, and then you get very manipulative and passive aggressive. Like, I mean, I feel like I have a pretty good sense of people that I can tell pretty quickly if it's like that passive aggressive shit. Mm-hmm. Like, I just had a scenario the other day and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to set some boundaries today and I'm going to be a big girl about this. And I don't care if they don't ever talk to me again. But I feel when you, like totally back to basics, like when you accuse me or say these things, it comes across as if you're really, really jealous and you're really like, and I don't want that in my life. Mm-mm. And if you aren't going to receive this, that's fine. But I feel like at this point, I need to tell you these things if you want to have a friendship with me.
Right.
You know, and it's just like stuff like that. But for me, it's so funny that you say like you shut down. Like I feel like I just invite love. Like I have been hurt so many times and I'm always like, I don't have another one in me. I don't have another one in me. And then it's almost like I'm even more vulnerable to it now. Like I let someone in even faster. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, because I'm so picky about who I let in. And I'm like, no, this one might be okay. Mm-hmm. And I let them in just a little bit. And then I'm like, what the fuck?
Is this in a romantic way or just in general?
Both.
Okay.
But probably more so in romantic ways. It's been like, I don't even know. And I don't get it. But I've just gotten to the point where it'll start to get that negative self-talk. And I'll be like, oh my God, maybe I'm too needy, maybe I'm this, and I'm da-da-da. And I'm like, I'm successful, like I'm a good person, I do service work. Yeah, it's like, right. Why do I, but I'll like doubt it because someone I text with for 2 seconds decides that they are never gonna text me back. And I'm like, what the fuck? It has nothing to do with them. It has to do with my childhood, and it has to do with my parents and how I grew up and how I never was good enough. Mm-hmm. Never was good enough, ever.
Yeah.
No matter what I did.
Were you an exceptional child in ways?
I don't know. Yes, and a total delinquent. But it was like...
But where was that? So I went through both.
But I mean, stages. I was also like, here I was in 8th grade, I got arrested on our school field trip, but then I would get myself out of it and all of a sudden be like this, like then I was in the #1 varsity rower, in the US for 2 years, junior, senior year. I graduated with honors. Freshman year, I had a 2.3, was running away from home and got sent off to like a boot camp, and got kicked out for drinking.
Yeah.
Like I'm nice enough and I have good morals that I can make it right. It's really at the end of the day, it's me surviving and being I'm an addict. So it's my ism takes over and it sabotages a lot of things. But then I also have so many like negative, like I couldn't, like I just want, I've just always wanted like my parents' attention, like or my brother. Like I just want them to see what I see. Like I know I'm a good person. Like but they were. It just was never good enough, and they never listened to how I felt. And so for me, I always want to get that last word in. Yeah. Like I always want to tell someone, no, I'm going to diarrhea all over you and tell you everything I feel about and everything that's going on because
word vomits where I get myself in trouble.
I just want to be heard. Mm-hmm. But nobody fucking cares at the end of the day.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like people got other shit going on.
But
like,
here's the thing that I have found.
But
when you're exuding it from the inside rather than trying to fake it from the outside, people do care.
Yeah.
And what's wild about that is I've just had that affirmation happen very recently because I was in a pretty big state of depression over something that I figured out too about gaslighting. I never knew what gaslighting was. When you create a situation and then you act like the victim.
Dude.
That was like the basis of my whole adulthood.
The gaslighting, the projection. I mean, I hate. So here's the problem.
I don't like buzzwords either.
Right?
Is that what you're about to say?
Yeah.
I hate them.
So it's like if I tell someone like you're kind of acting like a narcissist. Like if a female says that, then you're like every other fucking female, and they say every guy's a narcissist. But like, I mean, I have some females in my life that are narcissists. Like but if you really read about it and you learn about it, it's like insane. And it's interesting because my child, who has oppositional defiant disorder, is like a mini narcissist, but it's ODD. It's not necessarily like he's not a narcissist. He's genetically wired that way. So then there's a lot of adults that have ODD that turn into conduct disorder that is displayed as narcissism.
Okay.
I told you to listen to that podcast on ODD. Yeah. You need to listen to it.
Yeah.
It's insane. Talk about mental shit.
I gotta start. I'm still on this journey of my own mental stuff, but then I'll get into other people's and start learning outside.
Because it's not even any. It's like.
Right now I'm at the point where like, remember how like WebMD initiated all these things where like everybody was sure they were gonna die.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I feel tired sometimes. That's
all my clients. Everyone who books a call with me is like. I mean, I just got off a call with someone and she's like, I just can't do it on my own anymore. I'm sick of Instagram telling me what to do. I'm like, I feel like shit and nothing's working.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
You know what my saving grace was? Daily exercise. Holy cow. Like it just made it a world because I was so reluctant to do that.
Yeah.
But what I broke down was procrastination as a form of disrespect and self-disrespect. And how I came to that conclusion was that because I would be in my head for years.
You don't seem like a procrastinator.
Because I'm no longer. Like that's a new thing for me. I was the better part of my adulthood because what happened was that I'm in my yes mode right now, by the way. And that's why like I did CrossFit the other day for the first time. I'm doing yoga Saturday.
That's why I had my bat mitzvah and I got into the plunging because I was like, I'm going to say yes to everything. I started.
Well, anything that's good for me.
Anybody that asked me to do public speaking, if I was like, I think I'm going to do an
event.
I'm
not wrestling alligators, but.
Oh, okay. I actually had a dream the other night about that.
But so this procrastination thing, what I broke it down to was, there's a lot of times in my life where I'm laying on the couch or doing whatever, and I'm like, man, I should work out. I'm really unhappy with the way my pants fit or this and that. And then I wouldn't do it, and I'd say, I'm gonna do it tomorrow. And then I thought about it in the sense of, if I asked my son, one of my sons, to take the trash out, and he was like, I don't feel like it, or I'm gonna do it tomorrow, I'd be like, the hell you are. You're gonna go do it right now and don't disrespect me. And that's out of love that I tell him that, to teach him structure. So why would I disrespect myself? Because I'm like, hey, Corey, it's time to work out. And then my reply to myself is, not right now.
Well, how about legacy? So let's talk about that.
Yeah, let me talk.
So like you sit there and you tell your kids that you want them to do all this shit, but then you're sitting on your ass. Like what are they? Well, Dad sat on his ass and told us to take the trash out, and he didn't work out and he didn't do anything.
Especially if they still have everything they need and want.
Yeah.
Because then what are you looking up to? I had such a hard time finding my will to work, to provide, because my two examples were my stepfather, who works diligently 6 days a week and has for a long time, but had this fear rut of stepping up into different roles because he had been really badly hurt by a former business partner. And then I had my grandfather, who retired when I was like 8. So this dude's like, well, we have a household full of food and happiness and all these things. This guy never does anything. So like, what is my example of what hard work gets you? Yeah. And so like, until I found a male mentor. You
just have to create your own. Yeah.
I had to.
And you can't be the victim of that. Sounds like a little bit of victim shit going on there.
Where?
At one point.
Oh no, everything was a victimhood for me.
Yeah.
Everything was a victimhood for me.
Yeah.
I didn't take responsibility for that stuff. And the odd thing is, once I started doing therapy, I was unlocking all these traumas and these triggers. And it really just gave me more ammo to be as excuses. And then I started having this realization pretty recently, like.
Were you miserable?
Shed this, oh yeah. And I was making people around me miserable. Nobody knew what version of me they were gonna get.
Yeah.
Because I was this.
I just had a conversation
and I had no boundaries. And so I'm totally consumed. So from like November to like March, I'm completely consumed in the situation that is not my situation. Mentally, emotionally, stressed to the max because I'm giving everything I have to a friend. And while that person is important to me and I love them dearly, my priorities are me, my children, then my partner. Everything else is secondary.
Yeah.
And what my problem was is I was so I was so into giving everybody everything.
Yeah, and it probably goes down to your childhood shit. You're just
acceptance.
It's your old software.
It is.
I was just telling my therapist, I was like, you know what? I was like, I just had like this, I mean, I know what a lot of it is, but I was like, I have to like, I'm getting so much better at like shutting shit down before it gets to like where it really damages me emotionally, but it still gets there. And I still like get really upset about it. And I think that's just my personality. Like, I'm like a lot.
I've been free crying a lot over the last month.
Free crying.
I've never really cried in front of people.
Yeah.
And there's so many things that I'm so passionate and so emotional about now.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, it feels pretty good. And I got to the point where I like laugh. I'll be like, man, like why am I even? And I was like laugh about it for a second because like all of it's surface now. Like it's all coming out.
Yeah.
It's all, and so it's ups and downs. And the coolest thing about this is that I'm never going to be finished with the journey. Like I can't wait till day 100. Day 765 because now I'm just stacking goodness.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You're going to get your old software. Something's going to trigger your old software always. Like, and you always have to be prepared for that. So like,
mine was a loss of love.
I'm saying you might meet another girl, and it's like that's going to trigger the old wounds. But you have to be prepared and have your team and your tools ready to try to do the work for it. And that's why I think a lot of people at our age don't want to get in relationships because they don't want to do the work. They want to fuck and they want to be able to do whatever the fuck they want. Right. And that's not like, that just isn't.
Yeah. It's a comfortable discomfort.
Yeah. I mean, there's no, where are we going with that? Like, where are you going with that?
It's about self-worth, I think.
Yeah.
And if you don't have any for yourself, then you're not going to give any to anybody else.
No.
So then that's trauma bonding. And then you're just bonding with these people who are both toxic. And at some point, their love lifts you up a little bit and they're still stagnant. And you're like, wait a second, this relationship sucks.
Hey, you got to read this book. I think it's called Anxious Attachment.
I've just started reading about anxious attachment.
That shit stuff. But I read that. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I
was an anxious attacher.
Oh, I was 100%.
Because I was so enamored with it, but it was an opposing
it's
effect.
the partner though, like too. Like we're pickers are off. Like we're picking people that are the old software, the bad software, but then it creates anxious attachment. But like then someone healthy comes along, it's so uncomfortable for us. We don't even know how to handle it, even though we know it's better for us.
Oh, I knew how to handle it at the time. I was self-sabotaging it every time. But like I said, I'm too nice to be mean, so it wasn't ever like, I don't know a time in my adult life where I've...
Well, you don't know how to handle it because you wouldn't have gotten into it.
Well, now I would have stayed into it because I would have worked through things. That's the thing. But what my big deal was is I would attach and then attack, but I would attack myself. Yeah. Because I'd be like, ooh, I don't deserve this. And the more I was into it, the more I didn't deserve it. But like I said, I was never like, in my adult life, I was never the person that could be directly mean. So there's not a situation where I was like, you are this, you are that, or I can't stand you. I was never attacking. I was always just going into a shell because my energy was so strong that I knew that if I could be like, have them always be like, hey, what's wrong? Are you doing okay? What's going on? Then eventually it would turn into them being like, I can't watch you die slowly. I have to move on. And wherever I learned that from was ingrained in me so deeply that I knew that was my emergency exit. Yeah. So the more love I felt, the more I inverted into myself and I used my shell. I read a book not too long ago called The Knight's Rusty Armor. It was pretty profound. Very easy read, big letters. Not a lot of chapters. It was a good way to start. Get back reading again.
Yeah, right.
And so
I'm like trying to get the 10 pages a day. I'm like, fuck.
With that book, you can do like 40. It's this equivalent.
Oh, good.
You're almost through the book, halfway.
Oh, okay.
So, but it was cool because it talks about like this knight who was conquering all these dragons and stuff, but he was ignoring his son and his wife, and so come to find out, like he could never get his armor off because he was crying about not seeing his family, and this armor was all protection for his vulnerability. Because he wanted to fight.
There's a lot of people too who put on weight. So with my
That's
work,
what I was doing.
Yeah, with my work, it's like, I do whole body wellness, and so I always tell people like, well, we're going to work on the gut, we're going to work on the hormones, we're going to work on your food, but like, and even on my own journey, like I did all the things to be healthy, but I was not like tapping into the emotional part because I wasn't ready. I had so much trauma from like being in prison for 27 months, like. I realized I never, like I got through it, but I never actually did the work on like what it was like. Like I got through my life before that, where abusive relationships, selling drugs, SWAT raids, like all the fucked up shit, right? And then I went to prison, but I was so happy to be sober in prison that I thought it was okay. And I didn't think I was like shutting down until I got out. Way later down the road, my therapist was like, you haven't even processed prison, which I didn't, because you get out and life hits like hard. And I'm like an entrepreneur and I'm like, I got to fucking go and get my life together. But I knew that something had shifted when I got out and I couldn't look my dog in the eyes. And that was the dog that went through all the shit with me. And I couldn't connect with my dog anymore. And because I had so much shame for abandoning my dog.
Okay.
My dog got me into rehab.
So not like a reflection of yourself, but more like I've let you down and now it's hard for me to look at you?
Like, it's like your kid.
Yeah.
At the time, it was like my kid. I mean, I loved this fucking dog. And I didn't even want anything to do with it. I was so just shut down because I had to emotionally disconnect from everything I loved in my life to survive what I was going through at the time.
Yeah.
And I thought I was okay because I could still cry. I cried all the time. I cried all the time. I went through a drug treatment program, like very vulnerable, like amazing things.
I've had crying spouts prior to this, but they were crying because it was little, think about it like carrying 2 pails of water around your life. And these 2 pails are full of pain and anguish and guilt and all these things. And so every once in a while they're going to spill over and I'm going to cry and I don't know what the hell I'm crying for. But now in this mode that I'm in now, it's almost exclusively tied to tears of joy. Even when I'm talking about something painful,
I get all that
I'm like exuding it from my body.
Well, because you're feeling and you know that when you cry, you're growing.
Yeah.
Like for me, when I go through painful shit, I'm like, whatever, at least I know I'm growing.
And I think my ego's not protecting my image anymore. So I'm like, go ahead, let it out, bro. Who cares?
I've always cried.
Yeah, I wasn't
But I thought because I cried, I was fine. Like I was good.
I was so much not a crier that I can remember a couple specific times where I had to like fake different things to like one of those being Armageddon, the movie, when it came out in theaters. I was in 6th grade and it was me, my buddy, and the girl that I was dating at the time, whatever dating is in 6th grade. It was my first kiss actually. But all it was like, there was this big circle of people. My buddy Tim was gonna kiss his gal. I was gonna kiss my gal. That's how old we are. We said gal. And I remember just being like, oh, this anticipation. So I just walked up to her and was like pecked her and then I walked home and I called her that night. And I was like, so, like, how'd you like the kiss, And she's like, it was pretty great. But I remember Armageddon, I was crying. The last part where they have to, I don't want to spoil it for anybody.
What's that song too?
I don't want to close my eyes by Aerosmith.
Yeah, such a good song.
It's a great song. And so and Liv's down there crying because she knows like, I'm going to lose my dad or my future husband. And the dad's like, I got this. Like, go ahead, Ben. You take care of my girl. Yeah. Right? And I'm like, ah! And
can we have that song like play in to this podcast like right now?
Edit it in. I don't know if we did get right.
At the end, we could just cry at the end.
Just the tempo of it. Yeah. And so there was times in my life where I can remember like trying to hide that and be like whatever. And now I'm just like, I don't know why. I don't know that I've gotten to the point of why I don't care anymore. But I love the feeling. I love the freedom of being like my true self. And I haven't tested it yet.
Well, it's like there's somebody like, you're 40, man. I hit 40 and I just was like,
enough's enough.
I don't care. I don't know what it was. I don't care. I don't care what I look like on social media. I'm going to say what I want to say. Yeah. I'm going to be as authentic as I can. I've always been completely open and honest. I'm not out to hurt people with my honesty as long as I'm like cognizant of that. Like I'm not like, you fuck fat piece. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not going to say that, but I have there's a way.
Stuff. Yeah.
But like, I just don't care. Like I'm getting older and I have so much I feel like that I can do and I want to do. And I just, if you don't like me, then you don't like me. I'm not for everyone.
Did you ever have a...
nobody's for everyone.
And I think you kind of touched on this. Before you were open like that, did you have a need for validation from everybody else?
Oh, I had a really rough childhood.
I've been more outspoken.
Like grade school.
Yeah. I've been more outspoken since I've stopped caring recently than I have there because one of my big things is I needed validation from everybody. The waiter, I mean, I wanted a bond with everyone I came across. And this is not in the past. This is very, very, very recent. And since I've stopped caring, like you're saying now, when I gave that up, now I'm like, I'm more out there. I'm on TikTok every day, like doing my journey. Yeah. I'm this and that. And it's because, so it's almost like an opposite ironic effect because you would think that the more I'm out there, the more I'm seeking validation or seeking that flooding. In fact, it's because I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
Like bring it. Like, oh, we have a whatever past together and now I'm going to be ousted because, like you don't like what I'm saying. Come on. Like whatever. Because I've accepted my flaws and I know that I'm not.
Well, Well, you're not blaming anyone.
Yeah.
And that's the difference. I think if you were out there blaming all these people for everything that's happened in your life, it'd be a totally different thing. But like half these people who are going to give you shit are not doing anything with themselves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's their own path. And it's sad. And all you can do is like pray for people like that who are just struggling, because it's sad. It's sad to see how sick people are once you start to get healthy. But it's, I, for the first time, have like the best group of women I've ever had in my life. I've never had a female friend, like a best friend that like I've
never heard a lot of women say that they do have a group of
I feel like all the girls do.
Really?
And I've never had it. I've always been friends with guys, which was a whole nother, because it's like my dad and my brother. Like I just,
I've had a lot of female friends.
Yeah. So
in St. Louis, that's really odd, because it's like, wait, you're just platonic friends with them? Like, yeah, genuinely platonic friends. Like, maybe there may be situations where I don't know if there was an attraction there on their end, but there's certainly that thought never crossed my mind. You know, like even in moments where I was a little more red-blooded kid. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Even those moments, I was never like, I wonder, because it was just like there was just a.
Well, there's certain people that like, I think there's a pheromone. I mean, there's certain people that you're like, okay, well, that's someone I would think about that with, but then there's other people you're just like, no.
Yeah.
But. I've always, I don't know. And even guys I've dated, like almost most of them I'm friends with, like I don't have a lot of, but I also don't like for people to be mad at me and upset with me or anything like that. But I also try to treat people how I want to be treated.
Right.
So if I know that they're developing feelings or something like that, I would definitely
There may be two or three exes out there that I wouldn't want to run into. For the most part, though, it's like, hey, how are you? Like, good to see you.
Yeah. Well, but I just recently actually just like I cut one out of I've never blocked anyone, but I blocked someone, and I'm like, I don't need it.
Yeah.
I don't need this in my life. Like it's insanity. It's a waste of time. It sucks the energy out of me, and I'm not to the place where I'm strong enough to be able to like my software isn't like I'm a PC. I'm not quite a Mac yet.
Right.
And I need to like just do some more work before my software.
Macs are less susceptible to viruses.
Yeah. That's really funny.
Or toxicity. My discovery, like I said, was like one of well, no, it's not the sad part about it. That's another thing too, is like talking positive to yourself. I've really started to check myself before I really wreck myself in sentences, because even like the littlest things matter. And I'm very considerate about how I place words in advertising, because that's my career-ish now. But I'm never careful about how I choose my words about myself.
Yeah. You have to. I mean, I was a trainer for whatever so long, and then just working with women, I get it, and I'm always like, cancel. I was like, okay, so now we've canceled that one, but you need to redo it. Mm-hmm. I said something to Aaron, my business partner yesterday about that after I left that campfire thing, and I'm like, it was like, I can't even believe that I got into this. And I was like, okay, I need to rephrase that. And I resent it to him. And I was like, I deserve this.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I can't even believe it. Like, I just couldn't. I'm like, this is fucking insane.
It sounds similar in my experience. So like people like us, especially, we need to start telling ourselves that we do deserve it, right? Yeah. Like we're worthy of it.
Yeah.
Like
I know there's certain things I do, but I don't know. And I feel like, I don't know if it's like, but I've done a lot of bad things.
If you're confident that you're a catch, then you're going to be the catch.
Yeah. And I just don't know. Like, it's like, it's hard. Like I've hurt a lot of people. I've hurt myself a lot.
Yeah.
And I've done some fucked up shit. And it's hard sometimes. I'm like, well, I have made it right. Like I'm not.
Well, it's all relative, because I bet you there's other people that haven't done the exact same things.
Yeah,
like your
but I'm
story.
also an addict. Like I did a lot of shit with that.
How many people aren't? Exactly. I'd be curious to know that.
And I'm not a unicorn.
I am. And sometimes I used to get myself out of those addictions by trading good dopamine for bad dopamine.
Yeah.
But it was always overloading everything. Yeah. There was never anything I did modestly.
Oh, no.
Everything was in great proportion at all times.
Yeah.
Eating, drinking, talking, dating, whatever it was like, all in, all at once, all the things. Yeah. And I couldn't regulate anything.
When's your birthday?
November 22nd.
Is that a Sagittarius? What are you?
Right on the cusp. I spent the better...
I'm a cusper.
Yeah?
I'm a Sagittarius.
I used to think I was a Scorpio for ever. Until I was like, somewhere in my 30s, somebody was like, actually, you're a Sagittarius, bro. And I'm like, oh, well, yeah. I don't...
This explains a lot.
To you, perhaps.
Yeah. I'm a Sagittarius Capricorn. So we're both on the cusp, but we're both Sagittarius.
Yeah.
Fire. We're fiery. I can just tell.
All right.
We're very like the loud, boisterous, like life of the party. We don't really mean to. It's just like our personality. Super extrovert.
I'm actually. And
then introvert at times.
I was about to say I'm actually a really introverted extrovert.
Yeah.
Because a lot of situations make me uncomfortable until I get in there. If I can get a foothold, then I'm like, whoo, and I open up like a little butterfly.
Yeah.
But if before that moment comes, I might as well sit in the corner and be quiet because I don't know anything that's going on.
Yeah, but we have so much energy. So like a lot of Sagittarius have so much energy just like coming from their body that we have to introvert at times and get super homebody to like recharge because it's like we put so much out there.
Yeah.
Like I give people so much of my energy. Like anyone, like I meet people like I remember when I was little, I would like be at the grocery store and there would be people like looking for fucking noodles. And then all of a sudden I'd be standing there listening to their life story. I'd be like 12 years old, 10 years old. And my mom would be like, oh, here's happening again. And they're like, you should be a therapist. That's how it was my whole life.
Did you have anybody that you looked up to that was like that? That was a gatherer of people?
Oh.
Because my grandfather was like
no, I'm a big like referral, like networking
I used to stand by him quietly because kids were meant to be seen, not heard then. And I'd have my little hands behind my back. And I remember just like standing next to him, specifically on road trips. There was this one time like we were in a gas station and he was talking to the gas station attendant. My grandmother was in the van or car, when we rent a van, whatever the situation was. And she was like, John, get back in the car, we gotta go on the road. He was having like a 30 or 45 minute conversation with this gas station attendant. And I was enamored by it. He would talk to everybody and anybody. And I thought it was so cool. And I think I got that from him. And I've dropped some of the quirks that I used to think were funny because they were actually not. But I've got that from him and because I was enamored by it. But the introvert, extrovert resting period, that has been profound for me.
And it was interesting. Everybody says like, you'll hear like a lot of stories of alcoholics that they start drinking to make them more comfortable when they're out in public. Yeah. And I actually so I was a drug addict and then I relapsed I started drinking after my son was born. So like alcohol was never a big part of my story till later. Mm-hmm. And I don't even like it, but it was what was socially acceptable. And so for me, by the end though, it was like I didn't go, I never went out and drank at bars, because it was never enough, but like I was an isolated drinker. So like the drinking almost made me become even more of an introvert and more depressed and have more anxiety and all that. It's where I just like isolated myself even more. So it was almost like the opposite effect, which I found interesting.
Yeah, it's weird how let me speak for myself. It's weird how when I was depressed, I found solace in depressants, right?
So like you think it's helping. I mean, you don't know. You're doing anything.
Well, sure, but it's completely logically counterintuitive. So like, I'm depressed, so I'm going to smoke weed or I'm going to drink alcohol. Well, guess what both of those things do to you? And so it's really weird that is those two things in particular are the primary crutch for most people in depression.
Well, I mean, in anxiety. So you look at all these, or just like women, we can get into like the mommy wine culture, but that's what I deal with, and I work a lot in that area is, you have that anxiety from your kid, you're tired at the end of the day, your kid, you drink, okay? So it's a stress, like you have temporary relief of your anxiety, great. Right. But then that triggers your cortisol, so you have a stress response in your body. So when that happens, you start to mess with your blood sugar, and your glucose and insulin levels. You store fat. Your body's in fight or flight.
This is without including anything? This is just
drinking.
Okay. Oh,
just
so
having a
alcohol
drink.
Does this?
Yeah, just having a drink.
Okay, yeah.
So you have that stress response, and then you start to store fat because you're in that fight or flight mode, and then your blood sugar's all a mess, and so that's going to cause all sorts of cravings and things like that as far as your diet. Okay. And then what happens is,
especially if you're doing it late at night, right?
Yeah.
Because I used to wonder why eating late at night.
Let me finish. So then when you drink, almost everybody I ask, I said, do you wake up? It doesn't matter if they're an alcoholic or not. Do you wake up at like 2:00 every night that you drink? And that is when your liver and they wake up with anxiety and they like kind of have a little panic attack, and it starts to happen and becomes more progressive the more you drink. But during that period of time, between like the 1 and 3 period of time, is when your body's liver and detoxification system starts to flush out all the toxins that you need to get rid of on a daily basis. So your excess testosterone, hormones, chemicals in the air, estrogen.
It's a time thing?
Everything.
It's usually this how long it takes for your body to do it?
It's usually around that time every night.
Okay.
That's how that's where it happens.
No matter what time you went to bed?
And so that's when you wake up. And because it's like the alcohol is always going to take the preferred pathway. It will always try to detoxify alcohol before anything else.
Okay.
And so your body is working really, really hard to detoxify that, but it doesn't get rid of all the excess neurotransmitters, like all the other shit that you need to just get rid of on a daily basis.
Right.
So that gets just kind of like stored away, like little hamster cheeks, like and packed away. So that's where you see all these hormone imbalances, estrogen dominance, You know, anxiety. I mean, it's just like manifests itself because you have to have your liver, your kidneys, your gallbladder. Well, you don't have any of those, but you need those things to detoxify toxins every day.
Right.
Like your body is a system. It has a way of working.
Yeah, and I've got nothing vestigial left in me.
Yeah. So
anything I lose at this point is detrimental.
Yeah. So, you know, that's a big thing. So it's like the second I quit drinking, all my anxiety went away.
Huh. So it's
and that happens with most people who...
It's preoccupying the parts of your body that are supposed to take care of your body with other stuff to do.
Yeah, in a nutshell.
Right?
Yeah.
I have to nutshell it because it's hard for me to follow.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah. Yeah. So
when you drink, it's going to cause more anxiety than the temporary anxiety that you're relieving down the road. And it's going to destroy your gut and everything.
Well, that's the same thing as like mental health in general, right?
Well,
like
yeah.
When you're hyper-focused on the things that you think matter, you're not fixing the things that actually matter.
Yeah. I mean, unless there is like a severe chemical imbalance.
Right.
I mean, I think there's a time and place for medication. I think there's a time and place for just change lifestyle, like free medicine, lifestyle changes. Right. So I think that I always say take a whole body approach. So look at your nutrition. Like if you're eating shit, start with that, you know, and then if your gut health is poor, start with that, you know, get all those things working and then tackle, you know.
It was really hard for me to pull an all-dayer like 4 months ago.
Yeah. An all-dayer, is that like all night too?
No, I mean like just staying up all day without wanting to take a nap.
Oh.
Because everything was just, ugh.
You should run my labs.
I have since done blood work. There's some pretty extensive stuff I've done over the last 4 days. And it started during this thing where I was like, I had to do something profound to fix a situation. And then slowly but surely it's transformed into doing it and becoming it. And it's like the honesty of really wanting self-love has changed my world. Like it's really incredible.
So were you so tired because of working through like the emotional part?
It was before that happened. Tired? I was just tired because I wasn't doing anything.
Oh, okay.
Lethargic because I was lethargic. It was
well, see, I'm just doing like my health history is going through my brain right now.
So my thing is I think that I wasn't exerting any energy. So like just being up from like 8 to noon sometimes was exhausting mentally and physically because I wasn't doing anything productive. So now I start my day at like 5:36 a.m. and I'm doing my routines. By the time 7:30 rolls around, I've conquered my whole day. I've got my exercise, my meditation, and this is one thing I gotta stop. It's like triggering my brain. And I listen to the Bible on audiobook or different passages. I keep saying I read it. I don't. That's a lie. But so I have my own version of GTL. Remember like Jersey Shore? Gym, tanning, laundry. But my GTL is gym, therapy, and the Lord. And I do those things before 7 a.m. And that way, no matter where my day goes, it's bad, good, or otherwise, I cannot wait to wake up tomorrow because I know I'm going to stack that goodness. I'm going to be stronger, better, faster the next day because I've already done it for that day.
Yeah. But it's also, I think it's structure. It's structure and you're being of service for yourself. And you're also like kind of doing inventory. Like if you're doing that stuff, you're probably also like at the end of the day, like what I think would be cool if you added in that I like to do is at the end of the day, I do like a personal inventory to see like who have I harmed today? Have I done anything wrong?
So I have a reflection period before bed.
Yeah.
But I try not to get down on myself about it. I'm just like, how could I have handled it differently?
Yeah.
Right? Because the big thing for me was like calling people names when they cut me off in traffic.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I've done it to people.
Yeah.
I remember one time there was this guy, and I'll wrap up after this because I still haven't answered that question. So that's what I want to end with is asking you this question.
What question?
In a second. This guy flips me off. Whenever the traffic maneuvering happens, he flips me off, and I wave to him and smile.
That's me.
He goes, and this waves back. Like he was like, "What am I doing? This is silly. Let's wave to each other." And he waved about it. So the question I wanted to ask you because we squirreled a lot.
But I have to touch on that. Like, I literally am the worst driver in the fucking world.
Okay.
I never get mad at anybody who cuts me off, does anything, because I know I've done it. I know I've done it. And I'm always like, it's totally okay. And they're like, I'm like, no, really, it's cool. Like, you can, like, I get it.
Right. So the question.
I had a chick chew me out the other day in the parking lot, and she got out. I'm like, I'm sorry. I just thought that guy. She's like, I'm so sorry. I don't even know. I'm like, it's all good. You never know what somebody's going through.
No.
Ever.
Gosh, it makes me want to tell this McDonald's story now, but I got to get to this question. We're over 40 minutes now.
Okay.
This guy cussed me out. He was a worker at McDonald's, and he goes,
what happened to you not talking so much?
I know.
I should make it.
You know, this is part of my lesson. Yeah, I'm going to stop it.
Okay.
Here's the question. And this is how I started my journey thing, or I was talking about. When in your life were you the most comfortable and safe? When did you feel the most love, the most safety, the most comfort?
Oh my God.
I was asked this after drinking around a campfire for the first time, by the way.
So, I mean, I have a few.
Mm-hmm. Tell me two of them.
Rehab.
Okay. Why?
I was just so safe, and everybody was just so vulnerable and raw, and we didn't care, and I was taken care of, and I had counselors, and people cared, and they didn't judge me. Yeah, they didn't judge me, and I was sober and happy and free of all the crap that I left. I left some craziness. I loved it. I loved it. I can't even tell you.
I wonder if that's an experience that very many people have.
If I could bottle that shit up and sell it, I'd be a billionaire. How good it felt. I can't even explain it. I mean, I was looking at 22 to life, federal time. I was about to go to LA County for 8 months. Like, I had a road ahead of me, and I didn't even care. I didn't care. I was so happy.
In the moment.
Yeah. No, even through all of it. I was happy through all of it.
I know, but you could live in that moment at the time. Like, you weren't worried about all this impending doom because you were so comfortable in the moment.
I just was happy. I just was happy. Okay. I just was happy. I was laughing for the first time. It was like summer camp. And when I describe it, I say, do you remember those moments when you're laughing at summer camp so hard you feel like you're going to piss your pants?
Oh.
That's what it was for 28 days.
Cool.
And I don't remember what the other one was. I don't know the other one.
I think that one's good because that can't be a lot of people's answer.
I don't know. I did a lot of camping. I did like camp. Maybe it's camp.
Maybe it's camp.
I was relating camp.
Maybe that's why you related it to
Yeah, that could be it. I loved camp. Oh, that was a good, camp was good.
Well, I want to have you on again. We'll talk about maybe that 27 months.
Yeah.
And bring Aaron on next time.
Yeah.
He's upset that he's not here today.
I know. Well, that means we have 2 more episodes because we're going to have to let Aaron talk about some of his stuff.
Okay.
We can talk about the contrast therapy and breath work and plunge. He can talk.
And we've got different areas.
Yeah.
So we can get a bigger space.
Oh,
that's a beautiful thing about these studios.
Okay.
So, but thank you, Sam, for coming on today. Thank you for sharing and being vulnerable.
Oh, anytime.
It was amazing.
I don't care. I'm 43, remember?
Right.